Okay, welcome back to Abhidhamma class. Let's start our today's Abhidhamma study by paying homage to the Buddha. Let's recite Namo Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Okay. Regarding the chapter 6, studying about the material phenomena, we have already studied the enumeration of material phenomena. And also we study to classify how to classify the material phenomena into different types, and we study the origination of the material phenomena, and also about the cluster. When they arise, material phenomena, they never arise as a single items or single particle. They arise in the group. So we need to understand about the material cluster. In this lesson 46, we're going to focus on the occurrence of material phenomena. So they arise due to their specific origination, specific causes. So when we study about the occurrence of material phenomena, they're related to the plane of existence. So we have to classify how we will study according to the plane of existence. First of all, the plane of the sensual world. So 11 sensual world. In the 11 sensual world, how many materialities, how many clusters, and when they start, we will study. And also, we will divide as the material phenomena that arise at the moment of rebirth. And also, material phenomena that arise during the course of existence. So there will be different. And after that, we will continue to their Rupavachara, 5 material sphere world, 5 material world. And that Rupavachara will be divided into 2 parts. The first part, the Asanya Satta. Asanya Satta is the non-percipients. So non-percipients Brahma, they have the different arising or different occurrence in numbers at the moment of rebirth and also during the course of existence. And except the non-percipients 5 material world, there are another 15 5 material world. So they are the same in the occurrence of material phenomena. So we will have the 3 groups. The one group in the sensuous world, and the other 2 groups, Asanya Satta, and the other 5 material sphere world belong to the class of the 5 material world. Among the 31 plane of existence, the 4 plane of existence are immaterial sphere world, immaterial world. So we don't need to consider about the occurrence of materialities in the immaterial plane of existence, because that itself is the absent, totally absent of the occurrence of material phenomena. There's no material phenomena in the immaterial plane of existence. So we have to consider about the the sensuous world and five material world in that three groups. Okay, so materiality at the moment of rebirth consciousness. At the moment of rebirth or rebirth consciousness in the sensuous world. So at the very first moment of the life is rebirth. At the moment the materiality arises in the sensual world, we have to study first. So here, before we classify by the time, so we have to know all the material phenomena are obtained during the course of existence in the sensuous world. So in the sensuous world, all 28 material phenomena can arise, but it can be different according to the individual. For the female, 27, including the femininity, the sexual phenomena. For the male person, 27, including the masculinity of the sex phenomena. So in each individual, we can get only 27, but not 28. But for both individuals, we can count all 28 materiality are obtained during the course of existence in the sensuous world. So let's focus on the materiality that arises at the moment of rebirth linking. So when we focus or when we study about the materiality that arises at the moment of rebirth linking in the sensual world, we have to classify according to the types of beings. First, we have to know the types of being. So there's some say that the moisture-born being. We can find this type of being, the moisture-born being. Usually, we can understand they are what are the moisture-born beings. So moisture-born beings are some insects. Some insects, they were born depending on the moisture. The moisture mean in your hand or including the bacteria and some virus. If they were born in the moisture, so here they are included in certain lowly forms of animal lives. But you know, the virus, some virus are included in the beings, and some virus are not included in the beings, because if they have only materiality, we are not counting them as a beings. If they have the five aggregates, for all five aggregates, including the mentalities, and they can continue their, I want to say, the generation, and they are counted as a beings. Only the material transformation are not counted as a beings. Some viruses are that types, I think. So here, the types of beings are called the moisture-born being. They are especially insects. And second types, Obapadika, the spontaneous birth being. So they were born in short time. Their aggregates are born spontaneously. So they are called the spontaneous birth beings. Generally, they are invisible to our physical eye. So they are Petas and Devas are that types. Even the human being at the past group in the world. So the first human beings are also the Obapatika, they are also spontaneous birth beings because they don't have a mother. Like a Brahma, they come to appear in the world, but they are human. The human at the beginning of the war cycle. So that is another type we can find in the sensual plane of existence. And the last types of beings are one-born beings. They are called the Gabasiyaka. So 3 types. But under the Gabasiyaka category, we can find the Andaja and Jalapuja. So Andaja, Anda is egg. So egg-born beings, like a fish and birds. They are one-born beings, but they are specially classified under Jah because they were born as a egg-born through the eggs. So they are also called the twice-born being, Bija. At first, they were born as an egg, and they break up and they become so they were born 2 times. And also Jalapuja. So here the one-born beings in the mother form, like a human beings and some animals. So these 3 types of beings are found in the sensual plane of existence. But in the Brahma world, all are Obapatika. No Sansetaja and no Gavaseka are found in the Brahma world, the 5 material sphere. So here in the sense sphere world, we can find all 3 types of beings. So according to the being, the materiality will be different. How many materiality arise there at the moment of rebirth? Okay, let's see how the difference. So here's the types of being, the material cluster and material phenomena. In the 3 columns we can find. So first of all, the Samsetaja, the moisture-born being, and Obapadika, the spontaneous birth being, they have the same material cluster and materiality at the moment of rebirth. So at the moment of rebirth, there arise at most 7 decades of material cluster produced by karma. Produced by karma, because at the moment of rebirth linking consciousness, only the materiality produced by karma arise. So we can understand the 7 decades produced by karma are arising at the moment of rebirth linking for Samsetaja and Obapadika types of beings. What are these 7? The first one, eye decade, ear decade, nose decade, tongue decade, body decade. Female or male, only one can get. Even at the very first moment, we were born as a male or female. Because they are produced by the karma. Our karma produce the rebirth linking consciousness and also the karma born materiality at the same time in the very first moment of our life. So for the female, they get only the 80 power dasaka, the female decades. And for the male person, they get the Pum power dasaka, they are a male decade. And for the less heart-based decade. So for the beings born in the sensual world, our consciousness depends on the heartbeats. So here, 7 decades can be found at the moment of rebirth linking consciousness. This is the utmost enumeration, 7. Sometimes as a minimum, so some can be absent due to the karma which produce that rebirth linking consciousness of their life. Sometimes the 4 decades of eye, ears, nose, and sexual decades are not found not obtained in the beings because of the karma. Some individual, the karma he or she has done in the past that produce this present life rebirth linking. The I that has no power to produce the iron decays, iron sensitivity. Iron decay especially emphasized by the iron sensitivity. So that iron decay is absent at the moment. So they are called the born blind. Also, they are blind in born. When they were born. So after they were born, also they cannot see anything because the absence of the iron decay from the moment of Bodhisandhi, the karma produced that. So iron absent, and for some individual due to their karma, ears. For some individual, iron and ears, and also some nose. And for some, due to their karma, the sexual decays are absent. So they are not, they cannot be identified by the sexual, according to the sexual, being the absence of the sexual decays. So 4 can be absent. What cannot be absent? We can find the tongue decay, body decay, and heart-based decay cannot be absent. These 3 cannot be absent. So at least, or as a minimum, we can find the 3 decays, and sometimes 4, including eye, or including eye and ear, 5 or 6, or at most 7, we can find at the moment of rebirth linking of the individual who were born in the sense pure world. So by focusing on the cluster, we can count the material phenomena at the moment of rebirth linking. So as a basis materiality in every cluster, the inseparable 8 and life faculties, the 9 are theirs. With the sensitivity, so 5 sensitivity, so we can count sensitivity, materiality. If the absent, the materiality also absent. If the cluster absent, the materiality absent. So in other way, if any of the sensitivity absent, we can understand the cluster absent. And also, due to the sexual cluster arise, Etipawa Dasaka and Pumbawa Dasaka, and we can find one of the sexual phenomena. And for the heart base, the heart base. So heart base decays and the heart base. Outside the cluster, if we find the material cluster, there must be the space and characteristic of 5. But not all characteristics are there, because at the moment of Bodhisandhi, some characteristic materialities are absent, so like a decay, etc. So we need to take out some characteristics. So this is the possible counting. But at the moment of the rebirth, only 2 characteristics. So in here, if we find out the specific number, we have to make this 3, only 3. Space and 2 characteristics, or upachaya and santati characteristic. The other charata and anicchata cannot be found, because this is the very first moment. So no charata of the materiality, because this is the very first moment, just a rising moment. That we are focusing on the how many materialities cluster and how many material phenomena can arise at the moment of rebirth linking consciousness, or at the very first moment of life. for the Sansitaja and Opapadika beings. Okay, now and we understand the 7 atmos and at least 3 and possibility 4, 5, 6, and 7. So let's continue for the another type. So another type, the last one, the Gavasiyaka, the 3 category, the Gavasiyaka, it includes 2 types of Andaja, born beings, and Jalabuja, 1 born beings. So here, and the at most 3 decades of material cluster, body decals, female or male, any of that decades, and base. Only 3, Gavasiyaka, in the mother's womb. The being, when it starts, at the moment of rebirth and consciousness, only 3 decades. For the materiality, if we count it that in 1 decade, there are 10 materiality because it is Dasaka, 10. So only 30 materialities arise, starting as a starting moment of starting material cluster of the beings. We started from that. And as a minimum, sometimes, however, sexual decay is not obtained. So sometimes 20 without the sexual decay. So body decay and heart-based decay. And with the in combination with the rebirth and consciousness, they are arising at that moment. We started from that in the mother's womb. And for some being in the egg, thereafter, during the course of existence, gradually they arise the iron decay and so forth. So in some week later, the iron decay, etc., they continue in this way during the course of existence. For each individual, 27 materialities, and then another types of cluster produced by 4 origination can be found in the process of materialities. So here also, basically we can find because they are produced by the gamma. So for the gamma, I want to say their life faculty is 9. This is called the bite and nonat. So the 9 and one of the sexual phenomena and heart-based. Outside the cluster, you can get the 3, but not 5. So 3 at the moment of rebirth and consciousness. So this is for the Gavasiyaka types of being. So we need to make the correction here: 3 space and 2 characteristics of Upachaya and Sandati. Then let's continue to the 5 material sphere. But before we continue, focus studying about the materiality, the occurrence of materiality in the 5 material sphere. We have to review in the in the chapter 3. We have studied that in the lesson 29. So in this slide, all 6 bases, so bases are found in this sense wall, but this is for all. But in the 5 material sphere wall, this is the sense sphere wall, this is for 5 material sphere wall, Rupa Loka. For the 5 material sphere Brahma, nose base, tongue base, and body base are not found. They are absent, totally absent. They are never found in the Brahma wall. So based upon this information, we can understand nose, tongue, and body decay cannot be found in the Brahma wall. And for the immaterial wall, it is sure that no materiality, so no basis is it there. And for the Asanya Sata, even the eye, ears, heart, face are also not found. So based upon this information, we will continue to study about the occurrence of materiality in the 5 material sphere wall. So in the 5 material sphere wall, the decades of nodes tongues, body, and sex, they are not found in both moment of the rebirth linking and also during the course of existence. We cannot find these decades. And also the material growths produced by nutriment are not found. But they don't eat any material food, material cheese as a food. And so the nutriment one materiality cannot arise there in the Brahma world. So by the absence of these materialities and also material cluster, we will understand how many material cluster and how many material phenomena arise at the moment of rebirth linking and during the course of existence. So first of all, we will focus on the second group of other 5 materials world, 15, except the asanyasata non-percipients. So at the moment of rebirth linking, consciousness of the 5 materials pure Brahma, the 4 material cluster produced by Gamma. So we can understand every time at the moment of rebirth linking, the materiality produced by Gamma arise. And what are they? The fours, the eye decays, ear decays, heart-based decay, and by the knowledge only. And 4 born of Gamma, because the absence of nose, tongue, and body. But in the as you see that we can compare in 2 realms of existence. In sensual world, body decays, and tongue decays and body decay cannot be absent. But in the 5 materials pure world, they absent. But in case of 5 materials pure world, eye decays, ear decays cannot be absent. But the nose decay can be absent in both world of sensual world and 5 material world due to the Gamma. But it is sure that in the 5 material world, it is all absent for the nose decay, because the Gamma produced in the 5 materials pure world, it is not supposed to the nose decay, no sensitivity. Only the eye and ears are very beneficial to see the Buddha and to see the Sangha and to listen the Dhamma. So the other nose, tongue, and body sex, they support to the development of the sensual desire, etc. So they are not beneficial for the not that beneficial for the goods. That is why the absent. So for the Brahma, they are not they cannot be identified as a male or female. They are asexual, so without the sex classification. In the same way, so you may remember that just now I said in the sense pure world also the sex decay can be absent, especially referring to the beings at the beginning of the world. So the human beings at the beginning of the world, they are the first beings, the first human being. They also are absent of the classification of sex. They are not male nor female. But according to the Buddhism, according to Christianity, it may be different. Who is the first? But here, according to Buddhism, the human being at the beginning of the world, they are asexual, so the absent of sexual, no male, no female. So we get to the 4 material cluster at the moment of rebirth linking in 15 5 materials pure world, except the non-percipience wall of 5 material sphere wall. Then if we count this here, inseparable and light faculty, so ear and eye sensitivity too, any of 2 of them must be there, and heartbeat. Outside the cluster, space and 2. So here also we have to make correction everywhere, and we just need 3 because you were found the 2 must be absent at the moment of rebirth linking. So this is my mistake. And thereafter, after the first moment, thereafter, during the course of existence, the material phenomena produced by consciousness and produced by temperature are found. So another material cluster of produced by consciousness and temperature will arise during the course of existence in the 5 material sphere world. So now in every beings, according to their realm of existence, we have to classify at the moment of rebirth linking during the course of existence how many materiality can arise. Okay, so then let's continue about the non-percipient being. So before we identify, we need to understand some information. In the 5 material sphere world, there is no tongues, body, sex, and also their nutriment-borne materialities are absent. This is common information to all 5 material sphere world. This will continue for the non-percipient being too. Then among the non-percipient being, the difference is here. Eye, ear, heartbeats are not found. And also sound are not found in the non-percipient being. Not only at the moment of rebirth linking, and also during the course of existence, all these materialities cannot be found in the non-percipient beings. And additionally, the consciousness-born materiality are also cannot be found in the non-percipient being because they don't have consciousness at all. The whole life, no consciousness, they are just materiality. That is why they are called the non-percipient being, asanya, satta. But still they are called satta, but they are different from the virus. Only the materiality, the group of materiality can be called as a being only in this realm of existence, not in the sense sphere realm of existence. Okay, so keeping this information, and you can find related Pali text in the Abhidhamma Sangaha and Comprehensive Manual of Abhidhamma translated with the English translation. So let's see the material cluster and material phenomena that arise at the moment of rebirth linking for non-percipient being. So only one of by the knowledge, Jivuda Nawaka arise at the rebirth linking moment. I cannot say the rebirth linking consciousness because there's no rebirth linking consciousness for that types of being. Only the materiality arise in that 5 material realm of existence for non-percipient being. Produced by Gamma, only 10 materiality start at the beginning of the life. So that 10, the inseparable 8 life faculties, they are 9 materialities arise. So for the cluster, only 1 material cluster, only 1 type of material cluster. So as a body of the materialities appear in that world, in the plane of existence. And during the course of existence, more materialities produced by temperature, but not all temperature-borne materiality, because the sound is absent in that realm of existence, no sound. So temperature-borne materialities, if you consider about that, you can understand the sound also born of temperature, but it is absent due to the nature that cannot be arise in the non-percipient beings. And another so the mutable phenomena, and also the produced by four origination. That among that, only the temperature-borne materiality arise. Temperature-borne materiality arise in the non-percipient beings. So only a few types of materialities are arising as a Brahma in the non-percipient realm of existence. So the body of the non-percipient being is that. So the rebirth linking moment and during the course of existence. So these are how the materiality occurs in the plane of existence, in the sensual world and the fine material sphere world. For the immaterial sphere world, we don't need to consider because there is no materiality arise in immaterial sphere world. That's why we can understand how happen the occurrence of materialities in two moments of the beings, in the process of beings. Then we need to study about the occurrence of materiality to cover the inner information, to collect all the information and connect each other. So the Kamacha Rupa or Kamacha Kalapa. So material cluster, born or karma, and also in other way we can say the material phenomena produced by karma. They are the same. So from they arise from the arising sub-moment of rebirth linking chitta. In the former lesson of lesson 45, we already studied that the Kamacha Rupa they arise at the moment, the sub-moment, arising sub-moment of rebirth linking consciousness, Pradisandhi chitta. That is for the beings, those have the consciousness, not percipient being. So this is starting point. Then it continued to produce in every sub-moment of consciousness. So Abhidhamma Sangha mentioned that the starting moment of the materiality and also mentalities as a being, and also the last moment and when they cease, the moment when they cease also explained. So we need to collect the information to keep to memorize in easy way. So the karma-born materialities or karma-born material class that they arise for the first time at the arising sub-moment of rebirth linking chitta, and they repeat it. It's arising in every sub-moment of consciousness. So in the present sub-moment of rebirth linking, also the karma-born materiality are produced. In the same way, in the dissolution sub-moment of rebirth linking consciousness, the karma-born materialities are produced by karma. In this way, it continues the whole life up to the arising sub-moment of 17th consciousness before the death consciousness. So that consciousness is the last moment of mentality in the life. Before that, if we count back from the death consciousness, counting back to the 17th, the arising sub-moment of the 17th consciousness, still the karma-born materialities are produced by the karma. But after that, starting from the present sub-moment of 17th consciousness preceding the death consciousness, it does not produce. Karma does not produce. No more production by the karma. So we have to keep this information. The starting moment and continuation and the last moment of production. After that, no more production of karma upon materiality in the life. So before our last moment, the production of karma upon materiality stopped. The 17 consciousness, mind moments. So in this case, we have to make sure the difference between the sub-moment and mind moment. Mind moment consists of 3 sub-moments of arising, present, and dissolution. Okay, so let's continue that. Karma-born material phenomena no longer arise, starting with the stage of present sub-moment of the 70 consciousness preceding the death consciousness. No more production from the present sub-moment of 70 consciousness. Then, so how the material phenomena that arouse earlier mean the last moment, arising sub-moment of 17th consciousness preceding the death consciousness. That is the material, the less materiality produced by karma in the life. So they occur till the death moment, and at the dissolution moment, they cease. At the dissolution moment of death consciousness, they cease together. Now you can, because in the chapter 4, we have already studied the lifespan of materiality, 17 mind moments. If we divide it into sub-moment, 51 sub-moment. So the materiality that arises at the moment of arising sub-moment of 70 consciousness preceding the death of consciousness, it continues as a it is lifespan, and they cease together with the dissolution sub-moment of death consciousness. So now we understand the first moment, the continuation or repetition of production, and the last moment of production, and no longer arising. Then the last season, when they cease, succession. Okay, so this is about the karma-born matter. So the lifespan of material phenomena is 70 mind moment. If we multiply by 3 sub-moment, we get the, we understand their lifespan is 51 sub-moment. This is about the karma-born materialities. Then, so in relation to that, we have to know here, the death moment, if we count 51, here the lifespan. But here, before death, in this type of mental process, so Phaidra process of death and rebirth, if the person died, we already studied here, this is the slide, this is already studied in the chapter 5. In the chapter 5. So this Bhavanga moment is 17 moment. So this is a rising moment of 70 consciousness preceding the death consciousness. So this arising moment, at this arising moment, karma produced karma upon materiality, and it continued to the 51 sub-moment, and this is the last to complete the 51 sub-moment. It ceased with the together with the dissolution sub-moment of the death consciousness, because their lifespan is gone out. And from this moment, this present moments of 70 consciousness, this is a bhavanga. So no longer arising. No, in every sub-moment here, this is the absence of arising. The materiality produced by the karma. Now we understand the last moment and the succession of the karma-born materiality. So that may be different according to the how many times of the past bhavanga. So maybe sometimes even the past bhavanga can be like this. So another type also possible. Then here, according to the mental process or cognitive process, that can be the types of the types of mind movement can be different. So we just need to count back from the death moment. So at the 17th mind moment, arising moment, still that productions is there, and no more production from the present moment. And for the beings dying with their the other types of cognitive process we can understand. And also when it starts, this is new life. So for the new life, this is a very first moment of the life. From that very first moment, the karma-born materiality started to arise because the karma produced that materiality. So now let's see the beings dying with the mind or cognitive process here, death. But if we count it, not 17 moment is there, but we have to count back up to the 17 mind moment to understand which moment is the less to produce and which moment no more production. In the same way, the studying for the karma-born materiality, this is the past. And also in each sub-moment, karma produce karma-born materiality. So it continues the whole life. In the same way, so here we have to understand that the first mind moment is rebirth-linking consciousness, and the second mind moment is bhavanga. So if we refer to the first bhavanga, it is referring to that moment of the first bhavanga. So after the rebirth-linking consciousness, the container of the bhavangas follow. Then, so let's continue about the citta. So the the conscious now, the materiality born of consciousness or produced by the consciousness, citta rupa kalapa. So the first moment is the arising sub-moment of second citta. Second citta refers to first bhavanga. The moment followed to the rebirth-linking consciousness, rebirth-linking moments. So we understand which one already. Then the production repeated in every arising sub-moment. This is different from the karma-born materiality. For the karma-born materiality, every sub-moment. Here, this is every arising sub-moment. So for the past bhavanga, the arising of first bhavanga started, and the arising of second bhavanga, second time production. But present and dissolution moment are skipped. No production of the consciousness-born materiality. But not all types of materiality. Here, 70 kinds of consciousness. We already studied what are the 75 kinds of consciousness that can produce materiality. So we understand the repetition of production is in every arising sub-moment of 75 kinds of consciousness. Then, what is the last moment of production? So arising sub-moment of death consciousness. It later than the karma-born materiality. Karma-born materiality stopped earlier. It is production. So consciousness still produced even at the arising moment of death consciousness, but for the other highest death consciousness does not produce. Here, for those who have to continue in the cycle of rebirth in samsara, even at the arising sub-moment of death consciousness, the consciousness produce it is consciousness-born materialities. So from the present moment, at the present moment and dissolution moment of the life, no more consciousness-born materiality as a other moment, because according to the nature, the consciousness produce consciousness born materiality only at the arising moment. So we can understand, starting from the second consciousness, which is called the first Bhavanka, and continue the whole life to the last moment, last death moment. Then, so consciousness born material phenomena that arise at the arising sub-moment of death. So this is the last production. It ceases after death consciousness. So how long? Continue to the 48th mind moment. 48th mind moment is sub-moment, referring to the 48th sub-moment after dissolution sub-moment of death consciousness. Here we have to the sub-moment, 48 sub-moment of after dissolution sub-moment of death consciousness. Here we can count it there. It is a dissolution sub-moment of 16 moment after death, but because the consciousness is not continuing after death moment, we just consider, we can assume how long, how many mind moments. So 16, it should be 16, but we can just measure by the time, because the consciousness is not continuing after death consciousness. This is the last moment in the life. So 3 sub-moment of death, because it starts from the arising sub-moment, 3 sub-moment of death. After that, if we count 16, so 48. In this way, we can identify at the 48 sub-moment at the time, at the time similar to the 48 sub-moment. At the time, the consciousness born materiality is 6. It means the after death consciousness, after the being died, consciousness born materiality still continue for 48 sub-moment. So if we add 3 plus 48, it becomes the 51. It is the lifespan of materiality. In this way, we can collect the information related to the consciousness born materialities. Then let's see the Uddhacca. Uddhacca is the materiality produced by the temperature. So the temperature born materiality started from the present sub-moment. As you know, the present is the strongest sub-moment of the materiality. So temperature itself is materiality. So at the stronger moment of present sub-moment, it produced. So it is earlier than the consciousness born materiality. So at the present sub-moment of rebirth and chitta, it started. And it continued in every present sub-moment of temperature. Then the temperature born material phenomena was it in the form of the corpse and continue to the end of the world of the universe, which is called that the temperature born materiality does not stop or does not cease with the death of the beings. Although the being death, the remaining materialities born of temperature continue in the process of cause. If we burn that cause, so as an ash, the temperature born materiality continue. If we bury also under the ground, the process of materiality continue. But due to the temperature affected on that material process, it changes. The process changes. So to the end of the world, the continuation, but not the existence all the time. That all are impermanence. And the last type of aharaja rupa or aharaja cluster produced by the nutritive essence. So the starting point is the presence of moment of nutritive essence when it is swallowed, so the outside nutritive essence. When it is go into the body or living being, it start to produce the materiality produced by nutritive essence. It repeated in every presence of moment of nutritive essence. This continuation count. So in all four types of materiality, they continue in repetition of their production along the life. So the nutriment-borne material phenomena arise at the dissolution sub-moment of death consciousness. So here, this is second less compared to the Udruja. The Udruja materialities continue to the end of the world. So compared to the Udruja, it is earlier, less moment. It has earlier, less moment. Here, compared to the karma-born materiality and consciousness-born materialities, it is later, because even at the dissolution sub-moment of death consciousness, we can find the nutriment-borne material phenomena are produced by the nutritive essence. So they cease, when they see the 15 sub-moment here, 15 mind moment refers to the sub-moment after dissolution sub-moment of death. So here, when it is produced, at the moment of dissolution sub-moment of death is 1 and continue to the 50 sub-moment, the time, because there is no conscious now continuing in that being. We can just guess the time. So altogether 51 material sub-moment equal to the lifespan of materiality. So now we understand the 4 types of materiality, the starting point and their continuation and the last moment and when they cease. To remember, this is not easy, but you need to check and then you need to repeat it again and again to keep all the information in your memory. And for the Burmese tradition study style, we study the Pali text by heart so that we can study in easy way. We can memorize all other information in easy way together with sticking to the Pali text. Okay, so let's continue about some notes. So round cycle of material phenomena in the existence. Now what we have studied is for the one life. So when it start and when it stop production and when it cease already produced. So for the round cycle, for the samsara, the cycle of life, the life is not stopped. Life continue, except for the arhat. For the arhat, they stop. But for ordinary person and trainees, they have to be reborn in any plane of existence. So after being died in this life, they were reborn in any life according to the karma. So when they die, their last moment and then cease the process of materiality and also mentality at the moment of death consciousness. After death consciousness, they were reborn in any plane of existence. So if the new life is related to the materiality, not for those beings who were born in the immaterial sphere world. For those beings who are born in the sense world, sense pure world and fine material world. For them, again, in the subsequent life, material phenomena arise, starting from the rebirth thinking for the karma-born materiality, starting from the present moment of rebirth thinking for the temperature-born materiality, and starting from the arising moment of second consciousness of the first Bhavanga. The consciousness upon materiality, and also when the materiality of nutritive essence come into the body, the nutrient upon materiality start again in the new life. In this way, we can understand the round cycle of material phenomena in this existence, but temperature upon materialities are continuing. But in another life, the temperature upon materiality start. This is called the samsara of the materialities. You can see the paragraph 26 in the comprehensive manual of Abhidhamma. Then, okay, so material phenomena born of a condition and flows, uninterruptedly flows on the sense sphere. So here, sense sphere till the end of life. How it is flowing like a flame of a lamp. So as long as the flame is there, we are thinking that the flame is there from the beginning. We lit the flame in the lamp. For any reason gone off of the oil, etc., the flame is not there. At that moment, we know no more flame. But actually, in every moment, the flame, the materiality constituted in the flame are replacing. In the same way, the materialities in the process of our bodies are replacing all the time from the rebirth consciousness up to the death. The process is very fast. So we are thinking that the body is exilient. Actually, the body is not exilient. Our body is the process of materiality. Another example is the stream of river, the water in the river, like this. So that in this way, we can understand the continuum of material phenomena in the life, in the sense sphere. So let's enumerate about the materiality according to the plane of existence. So in the plane of existence, all 28 material phenomena are found. And in the 5 material plane, 23. But here, 5 material plane refers to the 15 5 material plane except non-percipience being, 23. And among the non-percipience being, only 17. So there's a basis or Pali basis in the Abhidhamma Sangha you can see. And if you keep and study by heart that Pali basis, it is very easy to remember and to identify how many materiality can be found in respective realm of existence. For the non-percipient realm of existence, we can find only 17. This is not for the rebirth linking moment. This is for the whole life, including rebirth linking. So during the course of existence too. Then but in the immaterial plane of existence, there is no materiality can be found. And so here, some materiality cannot be found at the moment of conception. So this is at the moment of rebirth linking consciousness. So no sound, no mutability, decay, and death. That is why I said we have to make the correction in the 4 characteristics. So only the characteristic of upachaya and sandati, because they are the arising moment of the materiality. Decay moment and death, the decay characteristic and death characteristic in Pali, charata and anicca cannot be found at the moment of rebirth linking. So we have to make in every slide for the characteristic and space out of the cluster. We have to make the 3 space and upachaya and sandati. So in the course of existence, during the course of existence, bodhikala, there's nothing that is not obtained. It means that every materiality in relation to the realm of existence for the sense planes, all 28 can be found during the course of existence. In the 5 material plane, all 23. And for the non-Participian beings, then all 17 can be found during the course of existence. Then, if we analyze what are the specific number of the materiality in respective realm of existence here, all 28, we don't need to classify all 28 for male and female. But for each individual, only 27. For some, like the very first being of the world, human being of the world are asexual, so no sex. They have only 26. And in the 5 material plane of existence, what are the 23? We just need to count the exception. So if we exclude the 5 materiality, we get the 23. So what are the exceptions? 3 sensitivities of nose, tongue, and body, because they cannot be found in the 5 material sphere world, in all 5 material sphere world, nose, tongue, and body sensitivity. And 2 sexual phenomena. So altogether, 5 cannot be found in the 5 material plane of existence. Now you get it. What are the 23 material phenomena? Those can be found in the 5 material plane of existence. In 15 5 material plane of existence, because for the non-Participian being, we have to count 17. So 17 at the moment of conception. So by the nonad, we can count 9 material phenomena in the by the nonad material cluster. Outside the cluster, space and 4 characteristics, altogether 5. This is during the course of existence. Then temperature, matters, or mutable phenomena, 3. Then in this way, 17 material phenomena that can be found in the non-Participians are enumerated. But temperature, materiality is also the sada. Sound cannot be found in the non-Participian plane. So only 17 types of materialities can be found in the non-Participians. But no materiality can be found in the immaterial plane of existence. Okay, this is all what I have to explain in relation to the occurrence of material phenomena for lesson 46. So I'm going to stop here my explanation. Let's continue to the Q&A session. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
The first question is Bante mentioned that human at the beginning of the world came from the Brahma world. They are Upapatika. How does the subsequent generation human change to warm-born being, the Jala Puja?
Yes. Okay, so according to the Sutta teaching, they are the first human beings. The group of human beings come from the Brahma world, but actually, if the nature of Brahma and the nature of the human are different, because the plane of existence difference. So it seems they don't have the sex in their process, sexual phenomena. That's why they are very similar to the Brahma, and also the power to go through the air in the space, and also they can emit themselves for their light. So very similar to the Brahma, but actually, in my opinion, they are not real Brahma. They are the human being in the beginning of the world. So the Sutta teaching said that the Brahma came to them, but actually it is the Sutta teaching. In some case, we need to apply in some way of understanding, not direct understanding. So it is sure that they don't have the sexual phenomena. So the good question is how they can generate their generation. They can continue their generation. So the explanation is coming that way. For the the human being at the beginning of the world, because they don't have the sexual phenomena, they cannot be intercourse in their sexual events, and also they cannot give birth than the newborn baby. But they live there for long times, many years later, and their nature change. Their nature change it, and they make it some how to say the mistake to be lack of the power. Their powers changes. Then later, due to the attachment inside their mental process, attachment arises. They attach each other. From that time on, the sexual phenomena arise. So for them, the sexual phenomena born of the karma started not at the time of rebirth linking, that at the time of the during the course of existence. So it's said, the Sutta mentioned that there are the sexual the identification of sexualities appear, and they develop their attachment. From that time on, they can participate in the sexual intercourse, the event of sexual intercourse, and they can give birth then a newborn baby. This is how they give birth to their next generation. Before that time, all the beings are born as an Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma means the spontaneous born beings. All the human beings at the beginning of the world are Abhidhamma, and it continues up to the time when they develop their attachment or craving, sensual craving in their process. After that, due to the sensual craving, the sexual phenomena arise in their material process, and their process of generation change. They become the Jalapuja, one-born beings. Okay.
Thank you, Bante. And the second question is, a person born as male with male decade materiality, if he goes for sex change operation to become a female, will his karma-born materiality change to female decade materiality?
Yeah, from my understanding, that is why we taking the example of the first generation of the Jalapuja, and the sexual phenomena produced by karma can be during the course of existence. So here also the changes can be possible, because the karma for the male to produce the maturity of the male sexual phenomena stop, and the karma to produce the femininity maturity started. It works, so it can change, I think, in that way. But it is not mentioned. But in case of the like a Surya Satiputta, or the blind who named the Surya Satiputta, in case of him also, when he became adult, because of improper attitude to the arhat, he changes to the female life. Is the karma is a change, not by the operation there in that case. So taking that example also, the karma can change it. At the beginning of the life, he was born as a male, but being adult, due to the improper attitude or the karma he has done in that life, change it to the female life. That is why that types of material process can be changed into one to the another side. But for some people, the female to male also can change. Because in the Vinaya, when the bhikkhuni changed to the male life, so he is counted as a bhikkhu. Taking this example, we can understand the change can be possible. Changing of the sex can be possible during the course of existence. Okay.
Thank you, Bhante. Then the third question is, dear Bhante, why in the five material world, the decades of nose, tongue, body, sex not found? What are the reasons which cause them not to arise at rebirth time?
Okay, so the reason is given in that explanation because they just support to the development of the sensual desire, etc. So if you have nose, the smell you get, you like and you dislike, support to the sensual desire or anger. And in the same way, tongue, taking the food or taste of the food by the tongue and the touch, sense the tangible object depends on like and dislike. And this support to arise the attachment, sensual desire, and anger, and also sex the same. So they are the supports materiality for these. I want to say the hindrances, mental phenomena or hindrances, but they are not very beneficial for the goodness of the hearing the Dhamma and seeing the Buddha for the development of the wholesome in their nature. That is why they are not necessary, and also they cannot be arise in the five material pure world. Okay.
Okay, then the second question is, in the five material world, the material groups produced by nutriment are not found. So what do the Brahma depend on as food for their survival?
Okay. They don't need to eat any food as material food. And they survive by the other nutriment. So we will study the types of the nutriment in next chapter of chapter 7 of Abhidhamma. There are 4 types of nutriment. Only one type is Kabalikara Ahara. The others are Phassa, Manosanchetana, and Vijnana. So they are the nutriments of mentalities. Three types of nutriments are mentality. So they survive by the nutriment of mentality. But for the non-percipient being, even these nutriments are not found because they are totally absent of the mentalities and also nutriment for materialities. That is why their process is just the continuation of the karma for materialities and temperature for materiality. No more, no nutriment for materiality. So here, the Brahma is of the non-percipient being. They survive on the mental nutriments, not physical nutriments. Okay.
Thank you, Bhante. Then next question is, when the world is destroyed according to nature, many beings who practice jhana will reborn to Brahma realms. How about other beings who do not practice jhana? Will they be destroyed totally and not exist in anywhere anymore?
Okay, so we can consider that is some beings before the destroys the end of the world. many encouragement are done by the Deva and Brahma. So to practice up to the jhana level. And many of the beings are practice up to the jhana level and they were born in the Brahma realms. Then some beings are maybe remaining there and they were destroyed by the same of the with the other materialities of the world. So after that event, they will be reborn according to the nature, according to their karma. So that karma, because not only this world, and the other world, according to the Buddhist cosmologists, and this is only world cycle that depends on the 31 plane of existence. So there are another types of 31 plane of existence. So for the others, according to their karma, because they, if their karma, the wholesome karma have the opportunity to give rise for the next life when they were dying by destroying of the nature, and they will be reborn in the respective plane of existence in the another, how to say, the war cycle, another war cycle. And sometimes there some beings will be reborn in the hell due to their negligence of the Dhamma, and the unwholesome karma will have the opportunity and they will be there. And even the hell are destroyed. Even the hell are destroyed. So at that time, even the Avijji hell, the great hell of Avijji are destroyed when in some cases. So at that time, some beings changes to the another war cycle according to their karma. So the beings will die. So there are some karma are very intense to stick in the great hell. So they like the transparent to the another great hell in another war cycle. But for other beings, they were dying and the karma have the opportunity to change it. But maybe going up or maybe going down. The situation can be changed due to their karma that has the opportunity to give rise. So this is what I can guess about that. And also, we need to understand. We need to study more about the how it changed, but all about the cosmologies and many information are missing because just the connection of the cause and effects are mostly emphasized in the explanation, but the other extension are not much reliable, and because they have the different version. Okay.
I see. I think the second part of the question, how about hell beings? Can they practice jhana and reborn to Brahma realm? Probably Bhante explained already.
Yeah, there is no way to practice for them. They have they have no opportunity to practice up to the jhana. That's why they will die due to the destruction of the nature, and they will have the opportunity for the newborn, maybe in the hell or in the other realm of existence in another war cycles. Okay.
Thank you, Bhante. And next question is, in the Buddhist teaching, does Buddha talk about beings in other worlds and about aliens? Are their materialities similar to the materialities in our world?
Yes. The another universe in the Chakravati Sutta or in the in the Nikaya, in some sutta, the Buddha talking that he is going and teaching another universe. The beings are there, and maybe they are called the aliens or something about, but they are beings and they can listen the Dhamma and they can understand the Dhamma, some of them. And also when the Buddha teach the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the first sermon, and the Brahma and Deva from the another Vasankar came to listen to the Buddha's Dhamma. So in this way, we can understand they are also the same as our being of this Vasankar.
Thank you, Bhante. Then the next question is, consciousness-born material phenomena that arise at the arising sub-moment of death cease at the time of 48 mind moment after dissolution sub-moment of death consciousness. That means this consciousness-born material will continue to arise when a being passes away, and when we discern this corpse, we will be able to find this materiality.
Of course, yes. If you continue to discerning by your knowledge to the being who is going to die, and after death moment, you will find still his in his process of materiality, the consciousness of materiality are continuing for some moments, and up to the 48, and you will find this is right.
Thank you, Bhante. So it seems like this is the last question. So all participants, if you still have question, please either raise your hand or type your question in the chat box. I just have a small question to Bhante. Bhante, just now you mentioned about other world life cycle. So this other world life cycle, they also have the same 31 planes of existence, just like we are the world life cycle that we are in now. Is that
Yes, because for that Buddhist the concept of Buddhist cosmology, that is what you said like this. So they have the same 31 plane of existence.
Is there any idea like how many world life cycle exist like at the same time, or
how it is called the Ananta? So it is the incalculable or sankhars.
I see.
Okay, let's make aspiration and let's share our merit to all beings. Please repeat after me. Imina punya kamena.
Imina punya kamena.
Mami bala samagamo.
Mami bala samagamo.
Satam samagamo hodu.
Satam samagamo hotu.
Yava nibbana patiya.
Yava nibbana patiya.
Idame punyam.
Idame punyam.
Asavakya vaham hodu.
Asavakaya vaham hotu.
Idame punyam.
Idame punyam.
Nibbana sapajayo hodu.
Nibbana sapajayo hotu.
Mama punya bhagam.
Mama punya bhagam.
Sabha satanam bhajemi.
Sabha satanam bhajemi.
Te sabbe.
Te sabbe.
Me samam.
Me samam.
Punya bhagam labantu.
Punya bhagam labantu.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.